Hello and welcome to a new episode of Where No Pod Has Gone Before, the science fiction podcast. I am your host, Julian.
And I am Titan. I am your co-host.
And yeah, we have a fun one today with a new release, newish release. Good luck, have fun, don't die. The return of Gore Verbinski, who we established that we love for the original Pirates of the Caribbean trilogy.
Yeah.
The big weird kind of over the top movies.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
think I love them kind of for their rough edges, the weirdness of them, especially the sequels.
Yes.
But also, director of The Ring, iconic horror film, Rango,
Okay.
and The Lone Ranger. And his film before this was A Cure for Wellness, which was a very kind of surrealist horror film. And he's kind of been out of it for a while. So I was very excited to learn that he had a new film coming out, and it was an
And I mean, why
original.
why has he been out of it? Did he just
I think it's
not?
industry stuff, so it's.
Okay.
I think the industry, like, in terms of studio filmmaking, largely moved from director driven projects, and when you're
Right.
making like the MCU, it's more just like, let's get a safe pair of hands who will commit to the house style instead
Yeah, and
of.
it's like this is your instructions. Follow
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Like make
exactly,
this movie. Right. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
Okay. Okay.
yeah, I think everything changed with that with The Last Jedi, but we can talk about that another day.
Yeah. Indeed.
But yeah, learning that he was coming back with it with an original science fiction film was incredibly exciting to me. And I learned that from a cast member of this film, by the way. I'll talk about that
Ah.
in a minute. But this film was not released in cinemas in the Netherlands, at least for me.
Oh no
Really
way.
frustrating. I kept checking and searching on the websites, but yeah, it
Yeah.
just kind of
It's
got
sort
dumped
of
into the
it.
void.
Exactly. It sort of seems, I think I sort of heard of it at some stage, but I also don't really remember it being like marketed or seeing
Nope. Yeah,
previews or anything for it. It's sort of, I mean, when was it this year or was it last year
I
already?
think it's officially 2025, but I think
Okay.
sometimes releases get staggered. So
Right.
if it
Right.
had come
Yeah.
out in Europe, it would have been like February or something.
Of this year.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
but
Yeah.
yeah, it just kind of got dumped
Yeah.
into nowhere, and maybe we can kind of reclaim it a little bit and maybe
Yeah,
get some
hopefully.
eyeballs on it,
Because
because
I mean, I mean, my initial sort of reaction is, I think it needs a bit of attention, right? I mean, it was interesting. It's definitely a movie which I think could get people sort of hooked and into it in
yeah, I
in
mean,
in
this is
one way or
I'm
another.
I'd much rather watch like a kind of ambitious swing, you know, like the Pirates films, kind of rough edges,
Yeah,
a little strange, a little unwieldy. I'd much rather engage with that than a safe Spider-Man film, or you know what I mean.
absolutely, yeah. Any day of the week, yeah, sure.
And it's kind of a cliche now. People are begging for original stories, but it's not. Aside from like Project Hail Mary, it's a bit of a struggle to get them.
Yeah, yeah,
But
exactly. Yeah.
yeah, I was keen. I was keen to see this, and for another reason, that it was shot in Cape Town. So there is a
Yes, you
little bit of a,
mentioned this.
yeah, Cape Town doubling as Los Angeles, and so
Oh,
it's a little
right.
bit of a fun exercise for me of like trying to spot locations and um, trying to spot which actors are South African and stuff. And
Right, yeah,
I
because I
was
mean,
trying to find some accents. I was trying to find some accent slips, and for the
yeah,
most
and
part, South Africans have done well here.
okay,
There's
okay, yeah,
one I want to point out, but yeah.
yeah. I mean, please do because I got sort of like halfway through the movie and suddenly I was like, oh yeah, Julian said this was filmed in Cape Town. I haven't been paying attention, right? Like I haven't been looking for obvious Cape Town things, but I mean, a lot of it was obviously sort of in like a studio of some sort because a lot of it
The
sort of like
diner would have
indoors.
been the diner would definitely have been a studio.
Yeah,
Um, Trying to think. Yeah, I would guess most of the interiors would have been studio stuff.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
I mean,
but
there was
like
sort
the
of like
the, the
a
streets.
parkade or something as well, which is probably a parkade somewhere.
Oh, you
or
mean like the
abandoned
abandoned
building or
building?
something. Yeah, something like that.
Well, funnily enough,
Um,
we shot there on the thing that I did.
oh, really?
Yeah, I can't name what I did because it's still not out. So I have,
Right. Yeah.
I'm, bound by a non-disclosure agreement.
Okay,
But
but you were like, hey, I know
we did
this
shoot
place.
there. We did shoot there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, cool,
So
man.
I was all over it. It was a horrible night shoot there. It's an
Oh, yeah.
abandoned shopping center. That's what it is. It's quite fun to
Okay.
hang out there, but I just wanted to go home.
Yeah. No, I can imagine. Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's fun to see like where they hide Table Mountain, and they kind of shoot away from it. Yeah, and
Cool.
they left
Yeah.
in a Northern Cape number plate in one shot. They just
Oh no,
forgot, but
I've got to go and rewatch this because I mean,
yeah,
I was not paying attention to that sort of thing until like halfway through. Yeah. So no,
yeah,
I definitely missed most of that. That's cool.
yeah. So it's just I think for us, it's a fun little side quest, I guess.
Of course. Yeah.
If you're bored by a film, it's always great to have a little side quest. Just a little avenue that your imagination can go down or
Yes.
something. But,
Yeah. Maybe
and I also
not
saw a couple
quite on
faces.
the.
A couple faces
No,
I know were in there.
oh really?
Um,
Okay.
yeah,
Nice.
so doing the Leonardo DiCaprio gif. Hey,
Yeah.
there it is. Um,
Cool. No, that's
but
nice.
yeah, as a science fiction film, this is dealing with two big things. Let's say hallmarks, I guess, of science fiction. If you're
Mm.
putting your hand in the bag and you're picking out a science fiction topic, so we have the robot AI overlords. That's a big
Yes.
one. The machines have taken over,
Yeah.
and time travel.
Yes. Which
And I think as one
are
is more
sometimes
developed thematically than the other.
probably, yeah, and somehow those two seem to often be interconnected, right?
Yeah.
The AI overlords and the time travel. And I can think of at least one movie.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking a lot of the Matrix and the
Mm.
Terminator films
Yes,
um,
yeah.
in ways that this is similar and differs.
Yes, yeah.
Interestingly,
It's not just a rehash, right? Like even though it's a sort of
yeah,
similar theme that we might have seen before, it definitely have its own sort of take on it.
yeah, but
Uh,
I think it's like as we're getting closer to the future of
right.
robotics and stuff, it's kind of trying to get more to it's becoming clearer. So the
Yes.
target, the bullseye, is more attainable, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
Where the Terminator is just like, one day the machines will take over. We have
One
no
day
idea how they
this
look.
machine stuff, yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. Whereas this one definitely felt a little bit closer to home at points. You're like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
There were certain points where like also like initially in the film you sort of think that it's just our current world, and people are like
Yes.
really absorbed in their technology and stuff, and then you start to realize, oh no, okay, this is a little bit further than
Yeah.
our
The
current
near
state.
future.
But it's difficult to spot, right? And that sort of tells you that we're close to that threshold
Yeah.
where you're like, oh yeah, I should have been able to spot that a little bit quicker, maybe.
Yeah. And I guess just for our initial reactions, just to sum up how we feel, I was worried when the film started to kind of get moving that this was going to be old man yells at cloud, that Simpsons
Right.
meme.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was a little bit of that, but it was kind of correct. It was correctly
Right.
yelling at the cloud. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah.
but largely, I felt that this was. It kind of felt like a first draft.
Okay.
In a disappointing way. So there are a couple things about it. I think thematically, I'm not really sure if it really gets there.
Mm-hmm.
I think the character dynamics were particularly quite weak
Yes.
and needed some significant attention, I'd say.
There were also
if you
there
were
were,
doing
like,
a rewrite.
there was some strong characters, and then there were others which were like they were sort of set up as if they were going to be.
Yes.
We had this group of like characters. You thought that you were going to get like a backstory from each, and that they were all going to be interesting. And then some of them were just complete throwaway characters, right?
Yeah.
and you sort of, I was like, okay, well, when are we going to get his backstory? Oh, he's dead now. Okay, obviously we're not going to get a backstory from him, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I agree with that. That's some of them were sort of filler, right?
Yeah. And um, it's simply far too long as well.
Yeah,
Um,
no, it is. I mean,
it is
two and a
way too
half,
long.
two and a
I
half
think
hours,
comes in like,
two
yeah,
15 or something.
220. Yeah,
Mm,
something like that,
mm.
in that range. Um,
No,
I think
exactly. Yeah.
so much here benefits from it. Just another kind of Passover. Um,
Yeah, right.
I felt a bit rushed, like they just had a script and went into it.
It's
Like,
like this is the extended edition, and they should have made a theatrical
yeah,
cut. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, right.
Um, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I came away kind of thinking that I had this thought of like, it kind of feels like Douglas Adams, but not funny. If that,
Yes, yeah, because I mean, remember also when you mentioned it's Sam Rockwell. For me, Sam Rockwell is, of course, Zaphod Beeblebrox. That is,
which,
they are
yeah,
one and the
I haven't
same.
seen that version, by the way. Just
Oh, you haven't
so,
seen the 2005
no, no, no.
film? Oh, okay, okay. No,
Well, I've
I
only
mean, it's
read it.
worth.
I've only read it, Hitchhiker's
Yeah,
Guide.
well,
So
I would say
yeah,
that's a better accomplishment. But yeah,
yeah,
I mean, it's I think it's an average movie, but it's iconic. I remember it from my childhood and stuff. And he is Zaphod Beeblebrox, and I felt like he was sort of a more evolved version of Zaphod Beeblebrox in this. You know, he was sort of, as you say, Douglas Adamsy, weird, far out sort of sci-fi type of stuff.
yeah.
I think he's the right actor for this role.
I was going to say he has have had a good career of playing like kind of oddballs, outsiders. If you
Yes,
think of
yeah.
like The Green Mile or Three
Oh, that's
Billboards,
right. Yes,
which I
yes.
think he won an Oscar for. Uh,
Oh, yeah.
you know,
He was
yeah,
brilliant in that. Yes, yeah.
yeah, he is a like a kind of true character actor where it's
Yes,
always, it's not about him, it's about the role. And
yes,
um, he's very good at playing these kind of kooky
yeah.
weirdos. But like, I think that that performance kind of loses a lot of steam for me, where it's kind of uninteresting after they get out of the diner. I guess I don't know if you felt
Yeah,
that.
you're right. No, you're absolutely right. Like the diner was sort of, I almost, when he was still picking the team and everything, I sort of thought, oh, is this going to be an entire movie where they stay in the diner the whole time? You know,
I
it sort
actually
of
thought that was,
seemed
yeah,
like
that was a
that.
chance. Yeah,
And I think that would have, I mean, I don't know how they would have done that, but I thought that was going to be really cool because that's often when actors and directors and stuff shine. You know, I mean, for example, like the Doctor Who episode Midnight, you know, the
yes,
entire episode is in this tiny little capsule. And I mean, it's one of the best episodes of New Who, right? I mean, because
yeah,
it forces you to act and it forces you to make a good episode. Um, so yeah, you're right. As soon as they sort of left the diner, I was like, oh, okay, this is just sort of like a few things didn't really make sense to me. I'm like, okay, so now there's just like bad guys and stuff, and they, you know, I
yeah,
also thought maybe they were going to travel to the future to this apocalyptic world or something like that. Um, so yeah, it was slightly different to what I was expecting, but I think I did also get the sense at some stage suddenly that like, oh, this is actually very definitely a horror movie, right? Like
okay,
I think it's almost like a sort of psychological horror. It sort of, it makes you very uneasy. It's sort of like this uncanny feeling that you get watching stuff. I mean, especially in the flashbacks, you know, with the kids on their phones and everything.
okay,
A lot of that like gave me this really uneasy feeling where you is you know what it was actually what I actually thought of is Invasion of the Body Snatchers, similar
yeah,
to that, where you're like, oh, there's something off about these people. Like you think that they're just normal people, and then you start to realize, oh no, these are all they're all part of something. They're all, there's something going on here, right? So I start, you know, I was going into it, oh, this is a time travel movie and everything, but then I definitely got a lot more sort of horror movie vibes from it, sort of halfway through.
yeah. I don't know that my mind went to like psychological horror, but I was
Okay.
definitely like, I definitely picked up on like, oh, they're lifting kind of the style of zombie films.
Okay.
Or the
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
hordes kind of breaking in through the barred
Right.
windows, that kind of stuff. Um,
Mm.
Yeah, I can see the body snatchers hive mind coming in quite strongly there.
Yes, and also
Uh,
just the where you think everything's fine, and then if you start paying attention a little bit more, you realize, oh Jesus, we're in the middle of it,
yeah,
right?
yeah. The kind of the surface
Yeah,
level is it's
yeah,
presenting normalcy, and then yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Um, but yeah, I think we can do a run through now of the film, and thankfully, it's very nicely structured with flashbacks, which made note
yes, it
taking
is.
a dream. Uh, but
Yeah.
yeah, so we obviously start in the diner, and the man from the future, as he's only known, appears, and
Mm.
um, I
Yeah, and I
think
must say, I love his outfit.
yeah, I was about to
You
say
know,
it's
it's
doing a lot of the heavy lifting for his character.
exactly, it's sort of like a almost Mad Max ish. And then it's also, I mean, I love the see-through coats. I mean, they've got a
Yeah,
lot of that sort of stuff in Blade Runner. You know, a lot of see-through coats and stuff. So I love the whole mismatch, um, timey-wimey sort of stuff going on there,
yeah.
right? All these contraptions and stuff attached to him and all of that. I loved it.
But yeah, so it was a great, the style of the scene is great. I like how it's shot. I like how it's performed. But
Mm.
this is like kind of the script, not inconsistencies, but like I couldn't help but thinking of these things. Right, this is to my point of like it kind of feels like a first draft. It's like, okay,
Right.
he's done this 117 times, and he still has this much energy, and he's still trying. Wouldn't you try
Yeah.
like the kind of, I don't know, Bill Murray in Groundhog Day is like, I know your birthday and you're gonna do this, and you're kind of
Yeah.
tired of it all.
No, you're
Um,
right. Yeah.
which when it's revealed that the princess, this kind of depressed looking young
Mm.
woman, and he's like, oh, I've never chosen you. You're not welcome. And it's like, I know he knows who she is, as we find out later on, but
Yeah.
like after my eighth go, I'm gonna be like, okay, she probably needs to be on the team. You know what I mean?
Right. Like
117 is crazy.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, like if you've been doing it for that many times, like maybe this is the missing piece, you
Yeah,
know?
and
Yeah,
he makes it very clear that there is a specific combination of people that
yeah,
that will save the world, right?
yeah.
And like this is they did not follow through on this,
No, they didn't
because
because I
you're
mean,
setting up like this idea of
yeah,
um I don't know if you know the director Howard Hawks. Is a classic Hollywood
probably not.
filmmaker.
No.
He's thought to have ghost directed The Thing from Another World, which was
Okay.
remade into The Thing. But
Oh, right.
um,
Okay.
a thing that is like a hallmark of his style is like a group, the Hawksian group, and
Okay.
everyone has like a specific skill or a thing that um, that makes the group as a collective function. And
Okay.
usually in this dynamic is that one person is deficient in a way that they can't bring their skill to the table, and then the challenge of the movie is to get them um, able to
Oh,
use their
right.
skill, and then the group can function again, right? So
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking like you have your chance here to do a Hawksian group, right? There's a specific alchemy of people in this restaurant,
Yeah.
you know, like they have different skill sets or knowledge or something, some history
Yeah. Yeah.
that makes them valuable, and it's
No,
just absolutely not followed through on.
yeah, no, exactly. Because I mean, there's like two characters maybe where what are their names, Ingrid and Sarah or whatever, and you're like,
Susan.
okay, there we go, Susan. Like, okay, now I understand why they were chosen, why they had to be on the team. But then, as we've already said, they were throwaway characters, right? Like,
Yeah,
okay, but why? So you could have had Ingrid and Susan, and then anyone else, pretty much, right? Like it doesn't matter who else was on the team. It wasn't actually a combination of people. It was you had to take those two people because I don't think he had taken those two before, right?
yeah,
I mean, certainly not Ingrid, and I don't think he'd taken Susan either because he didn't know her name at the beginning.
yeah. But you could, it's so easy to think of a dynamic where um one person is like, let's say, surprisingly skilled with weapons. You could have it
Yeah,
be Janet, And
Yes.
you can have a backstory, and like her boyfriend Mark could be like, "Oh, I didn't know you were so skilled with guns," and she'd be like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
well, my dad was in the army or something," and then that becomes relevant when they're being chased by bad
Right.
guys in the abandoned building, and then she can
Yes.
help them get through that. Okay, so Tick, she and like they had an
Yeah.
Uber driver in their group, but the man from the future had the map. Why can't you have the Uber driver being the one who can navigate? It's like it's so you
Actually,
could
that's yeah. No, completely.
you're setting up this idea of like
Yeah.
this like there's a super special group,
Yes.
but none of them have any special skills or special knowledge, or like, and even to an extent, the flashbacks don't really
No.
coalesce, into the main
Yeah.
story
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
that well. I mean, it's interesting backstory just for the world, I guess, but not for the
Yes.
characters.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so that's just like I guess my fatal flaw of the film
Right.
is
No, I mean
the
they also
promise of
never
that idea.
really they never really explain why does he come to this specific diner and why does it have to be a combination of these people, right? Like
Yeah,
you're just traveling back in time, and so he's just decided. It sort of seems that no, I'm going to pick from this diner, and that's that. Like
yeah,
I don't think they ever really explain why he goes to that diner and why they choose those people, right?
that's a that's a very good point. I can't think of anything. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. That's
and
why, like, I was thinking they were going to stay in that diner because there's something special about this diner. Like, that's why
yeah.
he goes back to that point. But
No, we just need to go to a house.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. So after 117 people, I might have gone and tried another diner.
Yeah,
Like,
and I'm also wondering. So obviously he doesn't have a bomb, right? He's just resetting the time travel. Like
yes, yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's clear, right? Um, is there anything that to pick up on with how the time travel works in this film?
I mean, the only thing that I found interesting, which we sort of see later when he actually does do it, is that it's clearly sort of wired into him, right?
Yeah,
Because I was sort of like imagining, like, can someone else, like, grab onto him or whatever and time travel with him? But it seems to be like, he sort of hooked himself up to this whole device where it injects stuff into his veins and whatever. So he is a time machine himself, right? Like the time machine and him are not separate. It's not like you stepping into the DeLorean and traveling back in time.
yeah,
It's part of who you are. The only thing, having watched Primer a couple weeks ago, is where are the paradoxes? He's gone back 117 times, but where are the previous versions of himself? So
yeah.
what's happening here? It's not time travel. It's like a reset on reality.
But I was because of the way he talks about like how people die and stuff.
Yeah.
I was thinking that it's I don't know what the name for it is, but it's like he's creating different time streams every time, so that people just die and then that timeline continues, and then he comes back and creates a new one.
Yes, but I
Um,
mean, if he comes back, if he travels back to the same point in time, he's already going to be in the diner. So what does he do? He kills the previous version of himself so that he
yeah,
never goes
then
in. Traps in the attic or whatever. So
yeah,
like you have to somehow get, unless every time he travels back to a completely separate timeline, way, because normally that's how timelines um come about, is you go back to a point and then you make a different choice, so you choose a different group of people,
yeah,
and by doing that
yeah.
choice
That
you've
creates
created
the
a new timeline, whereas he seems to create a new timeline to begin with by traveling back. The actual act of traveling back
yeah,
already puts him in a new timeline where there isn't a previous version of himself. um it's the sort of thing I don't think they really bothered to think about too much. They're just
yeah.
like,
I just think
there isn't another version of him, just
yeah. I mean, I
you
think
know
the kind of rule of thumb for just time travel and storytelling is
mm.
just follow your own logic, right? You set
Yeah,
up the
exactly.
rules
Yeah,
and then just
exactly.
follow that.
Yeah.
Um,
No, exactly.
so I don't think there's really any big missteps here.
No, exactly. I mean, what I mean is like I think they decided that's not the story we're
Yeah, that's
telling,
not the point. Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like we
yeah,
we're not doing paradoxes here. We just saying no, he's tried several times, so forget about any of that. So
yeah,
yeah, it's not a big problem. It was just sort of something I was at some point in the movie I was like, trying to work this all out in my head. Like, okay, but hang on.
yeah. But yeah, in the diner, he's also describing the state of the future,
Yes.
and I quite, I was quite interested in the like not the kind of evil robot overlords enslaving humanity. It's more like the AI slop
Yes.
um,
Yes.
future, where it's just like we're all just like in a daze of you know kind of brain fog, just
Yeah.
rolling through life, and there's like mass extinction in the third world, but everyone who has a in a first world Western country is just kind of coasting along
Yeah.
while the AI is taking over
Yeah. It's sort of like
without them seeing.
it's like ad absurdum, right? It's sort of like the current state of our world just maximalized and like taken to the extreme,
Yeah,
right? It's sort of like this is already what is happening, but like imagine 100 times more, where people are literally addicted to their phones. They cannot look away from their screens, and the world is actually falling apart around them, and they're not noticing, right?
yeah,
It is what is happening in real life, just not as horrifically and as
yeah,
extremely, right? So yeah, it's I mean, I was worried that it was going to be a little bit preachy, sort of like, oh, we're all addicted to our phones kind of thing. But like,
yeah.
I think by doing that, by making it so extreme, because when they first started having like teenagers saying like, oh, he's a boomer and whatever, I was like, oh, for heaven's sake,
That's the old man yells at cloud that I was worried
exactly,
about. Right?
exactly. But then by then establishing no, but this is like a systematic thing where they don't have a choice. They're actually being zombified. I think they sort of protected themselves against that, at least.
Yeah, yeah. I know. I was also interested in the plan being not to kill the AI, but just to put up some safety protocols.
Yeah.
It kind of feels low stakes when you put it that way, right?
Yeah. It's sort of like, yeah. All right, yeah. I mean, that's sort of, I speak about Asimov's laws of robotics all the time, but I mean, that's
Yeah.
the sort of, the fallacy where, oh no, it's fine, we'll make AI, but we'll just give it some rules to follow, and it's like, okay, but, rules, I mean, humans also have rules that we're supposed to follow, and look at what a mess we've made, People things don't follow rules. Rules are not absolute. And if they are absolute, that is the problem with them,
Yeah.
you can't mitigate against everything just by putting some rules in place.
I don't have it in front of me. I can't quote a source or anything, but
Yeah.
there was a story of a test of two AIs, and they were talking to each other, and then they developed basically a secret language among themselves, so that humans wouldn't be able to figure out
Oh
what
shit!
like. It just naturally went that way.
Wow, no ways.
Yeah, so
yeah, that's quite
it's,
scary.
Yeah, so in the diner now, it's a fun setup. I like I appreciated the AI slop being the apocalypse, and
Yes,
not
I did
necessarily
as
an
well.
actual apocalypse. But now the team is coming together, and it's everyone who is a non-South African actor in the diner is recruited into the team, right?
Right. Yeah.
Including the princess, and again, it's just like it's so obvious that she's the key, right?
Right. Yeah. No. Exactly.
Even like
yeah.
the shots, the camera, is telling you that the
Yeah,
way she's
yeah.
framed and everything.
Yeah. But I mean,
yeah.
I do suppose you are kind of supposed to get a sense of that, right? I mean, even with the the
Yes.
spinning bottle and everything, it's like, okay, she's important. Pay attention to her, right?
Yeah, I'm more just like the 117 tries before,
Yeah.
you left
Yeah,
out
no.
one person who
Yeah,
is,
and shame.
you
I
know it's
think
your mom.
yeah, exactly. But I mean, shame. I think justice for Gerald. I mean, guy was so keen. He kept putting up his hand,
Yes.
and it was just like, you're the most useless person I've ever met, Gerald. Stop it, you know.
Yeah.
But shame, he just wanted to help, man. Like,
Um, yeah, that was actually funny, by the way. I'm going to take a little
yeah,
bit of my points about Douglas Adams without humor. There's some humor there.
yeah, a little bit, yeah,
A little bit. And we get our first flashback. It's Mark and Janet. And that's Michael Pena and Zazie Beetz. Zazie Beetz is half German. That's one for you.
Okay, nice.
And she's a high school teacher, and he's a substitute teacher. And they're coming in for a day of work, and all the kids around are on their phones. But like that's actually real, right? That looks completely authentic,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. No, it does exactly.
And that's when you have your boomer moment.
Yes, yeah.
And this
Yeah,
is
where
like
it's like, we're gonna read a book. A book? Did they make a movie? Yeah.
but that's a genuine fear I have, is
Yeah.
that people are not learning to love art. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, think of it, how much we discovered just by channel surfing on the weekends when we were like dead bored, and you just like stumble on.
Absolutely.
I stumble on Total Recall. Like, come
Yeah.
on.
Top Gun, dude. Top Gun is the movie that I
Yeah.
kept stumbling upon. I watched it in like 5-minute installments over a few years, you know, like because it was always on TV. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
and
absolutely.
I in an age of algorithms and everything's tailored to your taste, discovery and
Yeah.
engaging in something that you might not otherwise want to, or you're just killing time or stuff. And I think that's something that's lost, and it is a genuine fear I have of like kids
Yeah.
not loving art.
Yeah.
So yeah, a little a little scary moment just for me there.
Yeah, no, because it's not that tough to imagine, right? You're like, yeah, okay, these phones have now been turned into, devices that are, they right there in your hand, and now someone's taken advantage of them, right, and actually weaponized them in some way.
Yeah.
I mean, there's I won't be able to tell you whose quote this is, but there was something, a quote that I love where it says, the only thing that George Orwell failed to predict is that we would buy the devices ourselves.
Yeah.
So he was always about like, oh no, there's cameras and monitoring devices in every room and whatever, but it was always placed there by the government,
Yeah.
But we've now just gone and bought them, and that we upload everything voluntarily, and we want everyone to be watching us. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I know, and to add on that, everything is just now designed for advertising. Everything, we're just advertising products. You constantly, and there's a great moment where like they're talking about the kids, they pass a note to each other that's just an advert for like Doritos or something.
Yeah. yeah. No. I mean, I wonder if that was like a real advert. If Doritos is like, let's pay for this and like get an advert in our form. Yeah.
And then there's that moment where he's kind of walking around the class and he's just like taking it all in, that all these kids are just scrolling, and he looks in, and what they're looking at is just junk, and this is all
completely
truthful. Like, I'm sure you and I know better, but like, with the junk that, well, at least I know that there's a ton of junk, and and
absolutely,
it has that hypnotic effect. He's leaning in and he touches it, and something bad happens. And I'm not sure. I think it's when they're still in the teachers' lounge, and that's when there's a school shooting. And it's like, not another one, right?
Not another school shooting. And they've got the whole safe room and everything.
Yeah. And the green light comes back on. It's like, okay, back to class. And it's like, are you going to wipe the blood off the floor or something? Like,
Jeez.
An interesting attempt to comment on something there, but
yes,
in this flashback and the next one, it felt like a kind of a parallel thing going with the movie, but like not really related to our movie. You know what I mean?
No, exactly, exactly. It was sort of like a self-contained little story, which was good, and I enjoyed it. But then it's like, okay, now we're back to the other movie. All right, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's kind of like they just chucked a bunch of like Black Mirror concepts,
yeah,
and it's
yes,
just kind of,
exactly. Yeah,
try to
yeah,
make it all work as one.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, and uh, somehow there is now, um, oh yeah, they have a kind of ray gun. A teacher's developed who was
yeah.
on
Oh
a
yes.
sabbatical. He has a ray gun to brick everyone's phones.
And I mean, this thing's amazing. You know, it looks like it's taped together with like
Yeah,
sellotape, but I mean, it's absolutely effective and it's
there's some
amazing. Yeah.
serious energy output on
Yeah,
there.
yeah. I was like,
Um,
whoa. You know, everyone was like, "Oh, don't encourage him." I was like, "Just encourage him. This guy
yeah,
should not be a teacher. You know, hook him up
but
somewhere."
yeah, so he uses a ray gun, and like now the kids are like zombies, and they're all kind of they're chasing the teachers and stuff, and it is quite, like you said, it's like kind of uncomfortable, uncanny.
Yeah,
You're not really sure what's going on.
yeah,
You're fairly certain there's some kind of mind control thing happening here, and that's really the end of the flashback, right?
yeah.
So let's put this away. What has this thing achieved for the plot to stop the AI, right?
Right.
Well, you know, you're thinking, okay, cool, like they must know something, but in reality, it's just that they have the ray guns. That's useful later on, right? You know what I mean? They
Right.
haven't
Yeah,
learned
yeah,
anything.
yeah, yeah,
Um, there's no, there's no. It relates a little bit. The
yeah. A
kids show
little
up.
bit, as in, yeah, exactly. When the kids show up, they're like, "Oh no, we've seen this before." But I mean, yeah, not maybe not worth an entire flashback like that,
Exactly.
or if I mean, because I think the flashback was good, but then you need to incorporate it
Yes,
somehow better into the
yeah,
story. Yeah,
I like the flashbacks the most
yeah,
of the scenes of this film. I think they're by far
yes,
the strongest
exactly.
parts of the film.
I agree.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah, but back in the present, we're trying to find a way out of the diner, and they sacrifice Bob, the
yeah,
assistant Boy Scout leader.
yeah. Jeez, that was ruthless. It's just like, go on, Bob, save the world. Oh
Yeah,
no, yeah, yeah,
um, but there are only 3 exits, and Susan is like, "No, but you can get out to the basement." Like, there's no basement, and then she shows like, "How the hell did you know there's a
mm,
basement?" When they're in there, and now we have the Susan flashback, and she has lost her son Darren in a school shooting,
yeah.
and she's at the school, and like these moms are there talking, and it's
Mm,
very weird what the kind of stuff they're saying.
yeah.
And I'm kind of leaning in, like, oh, like, sorry, I want to go that side, and you know,
Yeah, yeah. Give a boom mic to them.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they kind of they come over, and they're I guess they're like, "Is this your first time or whatever?"
Yeah.
Um, um, one of them says something that is so strange. Let me try to remember it exactly. I thought it was such a
Mm,
obviously it's intentional that it is strange.
right. Yes.
Um, yeah, it's she says something like, it's like, "Oh, it's awful when you lose them like that to their peers."
Oh,
It
right.
was such a weird
Right.
sentence, and
Yeah.
um, it is trying to create this feeling of like desensitization of violence, and you
Yes.
know
Yes.
um, let's build bunkers in schools instead of taking away guns from people, right? That kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
And they give her this card of a company that will clone her, clone her child
Yeah.
the
Jeez.
same the
Yeah.
same day. um,
Yeah. The same day. Exactly. Yeah.
and she yeah, she goes there, and uh, yeah, I
But it's
thought
also it is also very sort of hush hush. You know, it's all sort of like, no,
yeah,
just
yeah,
go there and they'll sort you out. But go
they'll
tomorrow
handle it.
because of the traffic. You know, these moms also
Yes, that was the thing.
they
They were
did
talking about
not
the
want to sit in
traffic.
the traffic. They were like, do not sit in the
Yeah,
traffic. You
that was
can
what it
live
was. Yeah,
with your son for one day without your son. Yeah.
yeah. Um, and all of these scenes are being shot in like Home Affairs buildings in Cape Town or something. I quite like that. Um,
Nice,
yeah,
nice.
but she goes to the company, and like I would say that, yeah, I think that this is my favorite passage of the film is her interaction
Yeah,
with this like company stooge, and
yeah,
it's
I
so
loved it as well.
weird,
Yeah,
so
very.
so
Yeah,
uncomfortable. Um,
yeah, no,
but
exactly.
yeah, again, unfortunately, it doesn't pay off in any meaningful way, I guess.
No, no, exactly. I mean, I've got problems with that whole clone thing because I mean, yeah, I didn't really understand the whole sort of point to it, and then
Yeah,
because I mean, then at a later stage she then goes to a support group, right? They give her the card or the contact, whatever, for a support group for other parents who've also done this. And
yeah,
obviously, I mean, that's also sort of horrific to watch because they're all like, "Oh no, we just had fun with her and we made her stupidly tall and
yeah. That's our
whatever."
fault. It's our
Yeah,
fault.
exactly. I mean, which I think for Americans with all the school shootings and stuff probably resonates quite a bit because it's
Yeah,
once again it's taking things to the extreme and making them absurd, all to just be like, oh no, but guns don't kill people, people kill people. Um, but yeah, then you know she then bumps into this other parent who gives her this box, right? Where
yeah,
it's like, no, this is your actual son, and it's only a voice. And immediately I'm like, okay, so take the voice to the cloning company and be like, come, stitch these
yeah,
two things together. But then I don't think they ever explain properly, other than like implications, what this voice is. Like
yeah. But
where
the
is this voice
voice
from?
the voice is like you need to go to this restaurant and follow the man, and then
Yeah.
that's how we come out of the flashback. And then so
Yes.
again I'm like, okay, cool, like okay, so she's got this voice that's going to help
Exactly.
them,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
and it comes up once like an hour later.
Exactly. I sort of thought she was going to keep saying, "Oh, there's a trapdoor here," that sort of thing. Like she was going to
Yeah,
keep knowing things ahead of time,
and
and
that
then
could
at some
create
stage,
tension in the group where it's like, how do
yes,
you know all this,
why do you keep knowing all of
yeah,
this stuff? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. But then I mean, just skipping forward to the end, she gets her son back supposedly or whatever. But like, okay, so he the voice? But then why is he still alive? And where was this voice coming from? Because the voice is what allowed them to defeat the AI. But the voice is clearly AI itself. So
yeah,
this was
why is
the
it
AI defeating
helping?
itself. But then it's like, oh
Yeah,
no, but the AI was tricking us the whole time. So I don't know what that whole thing was, right? Um,
yeah,
the
I
one thing
fully
I
agree.
really loved, just a little tidbit, is from that scene was the very soft playing of Swan Lake as he came out, as the clone came out of the thing.
And
I
it
thought it
was the
was
same,
creepy as
it was the
fuck. I don't
same
know why.
shot, it was the same like way of shooting his entrance as David in Artificial Intelligence, the Spielberg film,
Yes,
that
you're right with the light
eerie
behind him. Yes,
alien look of
yes,
him.
yeah.
Yeah,
No, you're right. I mean, I
hundred
love that
percent. He's
entrance. Yeah.
yeah, 100% he was thinking of that on the day
Yeah, no,
when they
you're
shot it.
right. I mean, it's like shot for shot. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
exactly. But yeah, I
um,
don't know because I mean, one of my favorite pieces of classical music, that Swan Lake piece, but it was like they played like a few seconds of it and it was
mhm.
very very soft and
Yeah, I remember.
somehow
Yeah,
it was extremely creepy. I was like,
yeah,
oh, this is not good. Like something's gonna go down here. So I just love that part. Yeah.
yeah. But again, all of this is not really adding up in
No,
a way
it's
that
like a
feels
lot of good
satisfying.
ideas
Yeah,
that
yeah,
don't sort of coalesce. Yeah.
yeah. They got all the parts. They just
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, but out of the flashback, they make it onto the street, which I'm convinced is a Doctor Who filming location.
Okay.
Um, I think there was an episode in the Jodie Whittaker era, where
Okay.
that because
Yes.
that was
Yeah.
all shot in Cape Town,
Yes.
and there was an episode where they were supposed to be in Hong Kong. It was like an alleyway. I think it was the
Yes, I
same
remember.
one.
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
it was the same
Okay.
one. I'm convinced.
Oh,
Like
no ways.
someone can go check if you're psychotic, but
Yeah.
um,
You don't have time for that level of detail. Yeah.
yeah.
Trust your gut.
And then they have the map which is a waste of the Uber driver skills again.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, that would have been a very clever thing to do, like
Yeah.
make the Uber driver the map guy. Yeah,
Um, Even if we're talking about runtime, like you can skip the guy on the roof, right?
yeah, completely.
Entirely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So they're being
yeah. He
chased by
didn't really
cops.
add much at all.
Yeah. And they're being chased by cops, and then it turns
Who,
out,
by the way, are shooting the hostages? Why are they shooting the hostages? I didn't really understand that. They're just like, oh, now the hostages are with him now because he's
maybe,
got a bomb and he's forced them to go with him. So we'll
yeah,
just
maybe
slug
there's
them all. You know what I mean?
maybe there's a comment on police brutality, I guess.
Might have
Like,
been. Yeah.
again, it is something that's underbaked in this film's ideas,
Yes.
I
Yeah.
suppose.
Yeah.
But they're being chased by masked men who aren't cops, right? And they get chased to
Yes.
the abandoned shopping center where I spent a night on a set.
Nice.
And I remember watching it. It was also an action scene, by the way. It was like hired goons were chasing our heroes through this. It was the exact
Okay.
same
Yeah.
setup
So it's
that we were
the
doing.
standard action location then, right?
Yeah. And I was thinking because one of the camera operators that I saw in this film was on our shoot, and I was thinking like he must have been like, oh, not again, you know?
You're right.
He's
Yeah.
doing the same stuff.
Yeah. Awesome. Now, I mean, I was waiting to see the abandoned highway. You know, the unfinished highways in
yeah.
Cape Town. I was like, surely it's going to come up at some stage. You know, normally it does. I mean, that's
I wish.
that's why you film in Cape Town. Yeah.
Um,
But alas.
yeah. So I remember watching like just across. I was leaning on one of those railings,
Yeah.
and it was pretty loose. And I was like, oh shit. And then people came to talk to me and they started leaning. And I spent the whole night being like, guys, don't lean here. It's going to fall.
Yeah.
And, and then I was like, wait, is that because they dropped a car on this thing now? Was that why it felt so dangerous there? Yeah.
Nice.
It's just it really tickled me to see all that again.
Yeah. No, I'm sure that's cool.
And, you know, largely a fun action scene. I think the car is a great touch and, you know, I think pretty effective stunt work. And
Yeah, I thought it was good. Yeah.
you could tell they obviously dropped a car into that container,
Yes.
which was fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
quite
Exactly.
A
It was nice. Yeah. It was cool.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's obviously, I think that's sort of the first time when, geez, I don't even know if he's got a name. Sam Rockwell's character.
It's the man from the future officially.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Man from the future saves Ingrid, right? And she's like, "Why are you so?" Because you know, he also said at some stage, I loved it. Like, you give me a real, you're off your meds kind of vibe, right? And she was right. She was like, she did have a death wish, but then he saves her then, and she's like, "Why are you saving me?" And I mean, do you think did he know the entire time?
Oh,
who
yeah.
she was.
Yeah, because there's one shot in his no, it's at the end when it's revealed, and it is the same. It's her, it's Haley Lou Richardson,
Right.
just in like with dirt on her face or something. So like she looks the same.
Okay. Right. Yeah.
And
Oh, right.
I mean, remember
yes,
she's
right,
she's
right.
pregnant there, and he was a boy when she died. So she would not have aged much, right?
No, exactly. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. Because he says, "I'm not sure why I saved you," but then obviously he just wasn't telling her, right?
That's why he doesn't want to confront anything. That's why he left her till the very last possible.
Right. Yeah. Right. Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, well, next up is her flashback. Again, like a kind of Black Mirror-y
yes.
scenario.
Yeah. Very creepy for this flashback.
Yeah. So she's allergic to Wi-Fi and technology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which they never quite go into detail with. I mean, I suppose that's sort of.
Yeah, but they start with like this
kind
is
of
a complete
intentional
medical anomaly, right?
Yeah.
And she's doing kids' birthday parties in Constantia in a rich suburb
In
of Cape.
Constantia,
No, that's
yeah,
where
absolutely.
100% that's where they shot those at those
No,
houses.
absolutely. I can see it now. Yeah, no, for sure. I need to go and rewatch this again with
Yeah.
that in my mind because I wasn't paying attention to any of that. Yeah.
Yeah, because she's there because kids aren't on their phones, right?
Right. Yeah.
And she meets a kind of hipster guy who also hates phones. Is using a map book to find his deliveries,
Yeah.
and they fall in love. But then one day he, and they're always like present with each other, and let's watch the sunrise together, and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
kind of the lack of technology is like
Yeah.
foreground in the relationship. But then one day he decides to jack in to the Matrix, I guess.
Yeah. And it doesn't take much to persuade this
Yeah,
guy.
and he
I
gets
mean,
he gets a
he's
VR headset without any headphones or any tactile
yeah.
functionality. So it's just vision that he has, but it's enough to
Yeah, he puts it on and
brainwash
just
him.
immediately starts drooling. Yeah, like,
Exactly. Yeah, like you could tell that like they just got it off like Timu or something.
yeah, yeah.
Just
Put a flashing
again,
green triangle on it, and then it's
yeah.
futuristic. Yeah,
Again, it's just like one more look over everything, and then you're ready to go. I feel like
right. Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like maybe the VR world should have headphones.
Yeah.
I thought, but he decides that he wants to jack in permanently, and there's like a facility where they'll do that, right? So I'm imagining that you go into like a Matrix pod, and
Yeah, exactly.
and that's it for you.
With like a nutrients tube or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and a really upsetting thing in the scene is he kind of describes the point of life beautifully, like he does. And it's like, is the point of life just pain and suffering and hardship so that we learn and make ourselves better?
Right. Yeah.
But in there, you've done it already.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah.
He's kind of making his point, our point,
Yes.
for us by saying that.
Yeah.
But doesn't understand the kind of the horror of what he's saying, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. But it's now apparent that all of these three flashbacks are on the day, right? They're on the same day as they go to the
Yes.
diner.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So, I'm not a person who thinks in like plot holes or, this person did something that I wouldn't do, so therefore the movie is worse for that,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But like that Mark and Janet would go to a diner and just like hang out.
Yes.
You know
I
what I
also,
mean?
I also thought about that. Like you're on the run from flipping zombies here, and you go like, oh, let's just go and have a burger and a milkshake. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it didn't. It was a bit strange. Yeah.
And like Susan has instructions to go there, and Ingrid is just,
Lost.
she's just lost, and just it makes sense that she would
Yes.
end up there.
Yeah. But then, I also, they had 3 flashbacks, and 2 of them were, I mean, I assume, were about the same event, right? Like, I think that Janet and whatever the guy's name was,
Yeah,
were
Mark and
teachers
Janet, yeah.
at, Mark and Janet were teachers at the school where Darren died, right? Like, it was the same school.
Yes.
And then
that too.
the third flashback's just completely unrelated. So I'm like, okay, I was thinking, oh, somehow we're going to find out that all of these characters have actually been involved. That's why they're the unique team again, right? They've all come here from the same sort of set of circumstances, and that's why they're the perfect combination. But then it was just suddenly, oh no, but
Yeah.
Ingrid's just, her story is not related. Yeah.
Yeah, now I'm wondering is the feed that the kids were looking at, is that somehow related to the VR
I mean,
thing?
I was thinking. I mean, that's also how I sort of logicked away the no headphones thing. Is that it's more than just visual, right? It's got to be some sort of signal, some sort of hypnotic thing. which he puts it on, and it's not. I mean, maybe he's just captivated by the images, you know. But
Yeah.
like, I would think that he puts it on, and he no longer can think as an individual, right? Like it's sort of it from the moment he puts it on, it's like captures his sense of self or something somehow.
Yeah. I'm
but
just openly wondering now.
Yeah, exactly. Lots of questions.
Yeah, but in the present, they're getting ready in this house. It's the furthest that anyone's ever gotten. No one's ever made it past the big scary threat that comes, and it's like it could be anything. You know, one time it was a billion rats, and another time it was whatever. And then they're kind of just like throwing out stuff, and it's like, what about kittens or a centaur? Someone says, right?
Yeah.
Or
what about the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man?
Yeah, it's that. Yeah,
it's
good
that,
shout.
right? Yeah.
I never made that connection. And it also reminded me of when they're gearing up. Reminded me of the Home Alone thing, where it's like, how did they have enough time to get all that gear?
Right. Yes. Yeah.
And this is when I was. This is when the whole thing of the group dynamics became clear to me. It's like, oh, they're just gonna fight whatever comes up, and no one really is special in any way that is gonna help in a specific way. So yeah, I guess, and another thing, now that I'm just thinking about it, once a person's flashback is done, they're just like so irrelevant. Like Mark and Janet are just they just do nothing. Susan is sidelined for the whole rest of it until they go into the room.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah. It's like juggling too many things here. You know, it's like having too many dwarves in The Hobbit. You know, and trying to give them all personalities and stuff, right?
Oh man, if this was a fantasy podcast as well, there would be so much Hobbit talk.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's like you're trying to give everyone a backstory, but then you're like, okay, we can't give everyone a backstory, and then we'll focus on this person for now and forget about everything else, and then
but like that's when I was like, why? Okay, we're not going to get Scott, the Uber driver's backstory.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
I think you could have done something really interesting with like an AI in the car. You know,
exactly. I was looking forward to hearing about that. I'm like, ooh, how's the AI going to be involved with Uber? You know, like, but then we just never got anything.
And while it's the calm before the storm, the man from the future, we see his flashback, or flash forward, you know, because it's time travel.
Nice.
He relates to them, you know, why it is that they need to do what they're doing. Which, as I'm saying out loud right now, I'm realizing, why would they go along with him? He's never actually convinced them.
Right.
He's got no proof. There's nothing scary enough, I guess. I wouldn't go along with him now that I'm thinking about it.
I also wouldn't. I mean, okay, so he knows that I've got 47 cents in my pocket. Doesn't mean that he's from the future, you know? He could just be some magician type of dude or something.
Yeah,
you know,
could very easily put that in there.
Exactly. So that's why I was expecting at some point for them to have some sort of time travel moment, right? Like where they're like, oh, okay, damn, now we've got skin in the game. But no, you're right. It was sort of, at some point they were just all like, and he was even like, yeah, you guys are expendable, I'm not. And they're like, all right then, you know.
But then why is the group so special that they're going to win?
Yeah.
Right? It's not the group. It's just Ingrid. But that is lame. It's so lame.
Exactly. The whole premise of the film was, no, we've got to find this special combination of people. And then that actually wasn't the case. Yeah.
Yeah. But so we get a vision of the future, and there's obviously some kind of climate collapse. He's in a winter hellscape, and he's never seen a sunrise. And this is when I got it, because they didn't show them. They made a point of not showing the mom's face, and I got it from there.
Yeah, and I don't think you were supposed to get it yet, but I think because they did those two flashbacks too close together, as soon as they're like, "Oh, it's a sunrise," I'm like, "Oh, all right, so she's the mom, cool." Like I don't think they intended for us as the audience to get it quite so suddenly, because then they sort of like reveal it at the end, like, "Oh, I'm your mom," and then it's like,
Yeah,
"Oh, it's supposed to be this like big revelation," but I'm like, "Yeah, but I've known this for an hour already."
and it is like an hour. Bloody hell.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Um, yeah, he sneaks out and attracts the attention of a drone, and I was a little disappointed because that's like, oh, this is now just the Terminator future, right?
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
drones are out patrolling and zapping away every human
Yeah.
that they see.
Yeah. But there's also
So
just a VR headset just there in the snow. And I'm like, okay, like I suppose everyone's wearing one and maybe there's just one there or whatever, but it was a bit strange. Like he ventures 20 meters from his house and there's a VR headset and he's like, "Oh, okay, cool." Yeah, don't know. It was a bit
yeah,
strange.
this is this theme that's developing here of confusion
Yeah. Yeah.
and things not sticking well with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess it's nice to get a vision of his future. But when you think of like the first two Terminator films, when they flash forward briefly, it's like, oh my god, you're like
Yes.
completely blown away by it every time,
Yeah.
right? It's
Yeah.
horrifying, and the special effects are blowing you away,
No, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and
And it
you know,
definitely feels like a different world, right? It's like
absolutely,
this is not the present. This is some weird dystopian world where nothing makes sense, right? Whereas he was just it felt like it's like, oh, is this the future? Right? Yes. Okay.
yeah.
Because there's a drone there. Uh, but yeah.
But there's when you one of the reasons that you shoot in Cape Town, right?
Mm,
Among many, the labor is cheaper, but
right.
it's the versatility of the location, right? You can shoot for
Okay.
historic Europe, you can shoot for the
Ah.
wild, you can shoot for the
Yes.
sea. You have so many options there, and you can also shoot post-apocalyptic because you have access
Right.
to harsh landscapes. There are, you can
Yes.
there's a kind of mini desert that's just like a 40-minute drive out of the city.
Right. And they
You
did
could so
snow.
easily get your Terminator hellscape. Well, yeah, it's
Yeah.
snow, but like, um, you can,
Yeah. No, you're right.
yeah,
Like you're in the location, you're perfect place for it, and you're not quite using it. Yeah.
yeah, you can uh, get that feeling of like, oh my god, everything has collapsed, and
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah. So
I mean, there's some parts in Cape Town you wouldn't even need special effects, right?
yes, uh, yeah. So that's his flashback. That's his past. So he is motivated to fix this because of his mom. He lost someone.
Yeah.
Um, it's fine. It is a bit of a cliche that the hero springs into heroism because of tragedy, instead of just
Yeah.
like the hero's a hero because he wants to do it. Right. I always feel like
Right. Yes.
that's more the Last Jedi thematically. He says quietly.
Oh, laying some groundwork. Yeah.
Yeah. So back in the present, uh, they are being the threat is the teenagers, right? Whatever
Mm.
horrifying thing that will come, it turns out to be the teenagers that are
Most
zombified.
horrific thing I could imagine.
Teenagers, facts actually,
Yeah.
um, and it's mostly fun, I guess. That it turns into a kind of zombie siege,
Yeah. No, it is quite cool.
uh, and they fight away whatever, and Mark and Janet have the ray guns and decide to sacrifice themselves
Yeah.
because instead of standing on the roof and shooting the teenagers, they are going to go jump in the middle of the crowd and shoot the teenagers, where
Do the same thing. Yeah.
where their range is much more limited. But that's fine, I guess.
Yeah.
But then
Then
the
indeed.
AI slop cat centaur
Yeah.
thing shows up.
Yeah.
And I know that you had a problem with on Star Trek with vomiting glitter. And I could
I
not help but
couldn't
think,
believe it. I was like, it vomits flippin' glitter. What is this? Like, what is going on with vomiting glitter at the moment? Why is everyone vomiting glitter?
this might
I
be
couldn't
that
believe
you're in a simulation and the AI has now just tailored.
It's like, what's the worst thing that Titan can endure? Oh, it must be glitter vomit. Yeah.
But in this context, it is justified because it's the AI slop nonsense.
Yes, they made sense of it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Because he said, what's something bad prompts or something like that.
yeah, it was like terrible prompt, guys.
Yeah.
But okay, so this is where like now we can, I guess, start to question everything that we know about this film. I guess like, so if they are able to say a prompt,
Yes.
and they are in the real world, how would that come about then? So they're obviously
Right.
in the AI. If
Yes.
whatever random shites can be thought of can appear.
Yeah.
So it's not a twist at the end.
Right. I hadn't quite thought of that. Yeah, because and he obviously he knows this, right? Because he's the one saying it was a bad prompt.
Yeah.
So he obviously is supposed to already know that they're in an AI world. And that's why, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Because he believes it all, right? He goes along and he's like, yeah, we've won and everything. And then he realizes it. But now we know that he's realized it already. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. It sort of seems like they were, you know, it's like the movie poster where all these wires coming out of his head and
Yeah.
everything. That's sort of what this movie is like. It's like this guy had so many ideas of what to do, and he just put them all on the screen, right? It's just like, yeah, cool. There's a movie in here somewhere. As you say,
Yeah.
he needed a good editor to come through and be like, nah, let's get rid of this and tidy this up and
it's
everything.
tighten this up a bit.
Yeah.
That's not the first time you've heard that, I bet.
No, of course not.
But they the horrible cat monster leaves because it feeds on the children and it's satisfied with that, right? So it leaves and they are free to get into the house. And again, it's nothing special about the team that has got them, further than he's ever gotten.
Yeah, you're right.
And at this point, I did check the running time left of the film when they got to the house. Half an hour.
I was about to say, I think I probably checked it as well. I was like, whoa. Yeah.
That was nuts. How can be this much more movie left?
Yeah.
I'll try speed run it now because it's all kind of mushed together.
Exactly. Yeah.
So the parents are hired actors, which that makes more sense, right?
Yes, exactly. And you also immediately know this, right? Like as soon as you go in, you're like, oh, there's something messed up here. These are not real people, or they are not their actual parents, or something. Something's very strange here.
It's reminding me of I think it's an X-Files episode.
Yeah.
Where there's an AI gone rogue that's killing people, but it has like limited, I guess, accessibility.
Okay.
So it actually has to interact with the real world, by hiring assassins and wiring money into their accounts to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
So that makes more sense, right? If they're in the real world, that the AI would just be like sending, robocars and hitmen.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. With the hitmen as well. They're like, no, anonymous email or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah. You have to sort of wonder, okay, what was the centaur cat thing actually in the real world then? Is the
Well,
but
there's just
then
no way. There's just no
yeah,
way,
exactly.
right?
And if it is, how? They never established that the AI has the ability to create something in the real world.
Yeah,
So yeah, none of that makes sense. I hadn't quite thought about that in that much detail.
yeah. So they find the room where they need to go, and they find a scene from Akira. This it looks very much like one of the
Right.
posters of
Yes.
Akira,
Yes, it
massive
does actually.
technology and wires and stuff.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
there's a little boy coding, and there's some robots, and now the wires are chasing them, and the robots are chasing them,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, and the robots are straight up the bad toys from Toy Story, right? I mean, there
yes,
was literally like a few that looked exactly like those toys.
or even the teddy bears from Akira, right?
Oh right, yes, the teddy bears. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, and Ingrid, who wasn't there because she's allergic to technology, storms in and it takes the doodad into the dongle and what a
Yeah,
um,
and you're also let me just say, most unrealistic part of the film is getting the USB stick in the correct way up first try. I mean, it
I
was
knew
just
you were
like
going to say that.
goes straight in, right? I was like,
I'll let you have that one. I'm just thinking now. You've obviously seen the Spider-Verse films, right? The animated ones.
I don't think I've seen the full second one. I've
It's in
definitely
the
seen the first one,
it's
but
in the
I think
first
I
one
have.
where it's the
Yeah.
alternate Peter Parker, and he's explaining to Miles. He's like, whenever you're on a spider mission, there's always a thing that you have to plug into the thing. So I just call it a gopher. All right, it's my
Oh
term.
yes, yes, I do
This is the
remember that
gopher
joke.
of the film, right?
The gopher,
Just plug it into
yeah,
the
yeah.
thing, and there's some safety protocols on the AI.
Yeah, some
It's not
safety
even that
protocols. Yeah,
dramatic, right?
yeah.
Um, and the AI boy takes Ingrid into their matrixy world and is like, "Look, you could have everything, and you're pregnant, and I'm struggling to like
Yeah,
remember or make sense of it. It's all a bit
yeah,
much."
exactly. It was just sort of, yeah, exactly.
Um, and they, I guess, save the day, and everything's fine. And then it's when the man from the future sees the sunrise that he knows he's failed because, like, this is his full quote, which I quite love.
Mm.
Um, I feel like this quote is a kind of just the whole reason that they wanted to make the film. It's just to kind of express this, right?
Yes.
Which is, make no mistake, AI is going to try to give you everything you wanted: constant distraction, memorable characters, challenges and obstacles to overcome, exciting stakes that matter, and a satisfying ending. But in the end, it will all be a lie, and you'll live in a cage. Kind of a meta commentary on the film itself, exciting
Yes.
stakes and challenges and obstacles. Um, but he gets his satisfying ending, and that's when he knows that it's
And I
fake.
mean, I did like that part of the film because I mean, the first thing which really bugged me, I was like, how is Darren, the dead kid, suddenly not a clone anymore?
And
You
normal.
know, and normal, exactly. I was like, he still died. So like there were several things, and I was literally sitting there at that moment saying, this is too perfect. How are they wrapping all of this up? And then Mark and Janet, or whatever their names are still alive, and everything's fine. I was like, this is horrible. This is just like some happy ending or whatever. And so it was exactly when I was thinking all of that, when they suddenly said, well, exactly. So I did like that part of the film. I think that was because I was busy getting upset with how good the
Yeah.
ending was. And then I was like, okay, I was supposed to be feeling like that, right? So I did like that sort of twist.
Yeah, and um, a great comment, I guess, for um, our world in which we find ourselves.
Yeah.
One thing that I back to my points of people uh, not engaging with art on a I guess high high level anymore
Yeah.
is people are not um, taking that step to broaden their horizons, or experience discomfort, or watch something that they might not, that there's a chance, or even a big chance that they might not like, you know.
Yeah.
um
Yeah. No, exactly.
like like as a film lover, it's like if I see like a 5-star review for this really weird Russian thing or whatever, it's like I actually kind of want to watch that. It might not be my cup of tea,
Right.
but I want to check it out. And I think this is commenting on like the algorithm world. It's like everyone's just kind of, you have it's everything is safe and easy, um and not challenging you in any way.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that idea is well teased out in this ending.
Yes.
Right, you have your
Yeah.
boyfriend, is he's come back to you, and the sun is shining, and everyone's happy
Yeah.
in the streets, and there's no Wi-Fi, and yeah,
Yeah.
it's all
Yeah.
idyllic and peaceful.
Yeah.
But it got me thinking, because we're struggling right now with the distinction of the real world and the AI
Yeah.
matrixy world. Is there a point when it's switched, or can he
Mm,
time travel because he's just perpetually in the AI hellscape? So
yeah.
that's my thing. It's like
Yeah. No,
the
because I mean,
boundaries are very weird to me.
yeah, I mean, just to sort of, I mean, I suppose we're kind of there at the ending scene, which I'm sure we'll speak about a little bit more. But the very last shot with the rat when it opens its eye, I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I feel like that's supposed to mean something, and it might be something like, "Oh, you've been in the AI world the whole time." Um, but I mean, did you understand that because like the very last, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He's got like a rat on the table, and it like opens its eye, and then credits roll. And I don't know what that's supposed to be. It might be some sort of suggestion, which, as you say, he's actually been in the AI world this whole time. He's just in some pod somewhere with a VR headset, imagining that he's time traveling. Um, but then because then the other part of the ending, he goes back to the diner and he says, "Right, well, the safety protocols aren't going to work. We're now going to infect the whole world with your allergy to technology."
Oh
Right?
yeah, yeah.
But that's a real world plan. But then I think they somehow suggest that we're in an AI world. So I don't know what sort of message I'm supposed to get at the end of the film. Are we in an AI world and this has all been um,
Because if
fake,
that,
or
yeah, if
what?
that's true, then that's just like a massive disappointment to me.
Yeah, it's sort of like they always said in high school with writing an essay, do not end the essay with "and then I woke up." That's sort of
Oh
that's
yeah,
that's the kind of thing, right? So yeah, I don't know what that's supposed to be.
yeah.
Um,
I'm
I'm
also
not
I'm
I'm not sure if they
completely
know
stumped.
either.
Yeah, I don't think they know.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's very
yeah.
true.
They're hoping that people like us can tell them. Yeah, like all the people online analyzing it, like, oh, this is what it must be.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
just
that's what we always meant. Yes,
if you just make something vague enough, then someone will do an explained video on YouTube.
exactly. Yeah, cow tools. Yeah,
Yeah, I guess we can move from there into best and worst science moments. I'm not
yeah.
sure.
Which I mean, I don't really have
Yeah.
anything very, and there wasn't that much science in this film, right? I mean,
Hmm.
the only the sort of, I mean, I don't even know if it's a best science moment. But what I enjoyed, what I've spoken about already, is the time machine being part of his body, right?
Right.
Because
Yeah.
um, sort of moving in. I mean, I don't even know quite how to say it, but it's just an interesting way to sort of get with the whole mechanics of time travel, because you always sort of have that. Like in the DeLorean, you get in the DeLorean. Inside the DeLorean is your time frame, and outside of it is another time frame. But like, what facilitates that? Where's the they sort of explain that in Back to the Future, because the DeLorean's made out of steel and whatever, so it's a Faraday cage or whatever.
Yeah.
That's the sort of idea. But like, this gets rid of that sort of idea that you have this sort of bubble of normal time and time is moving differently outside somehow. I like the idea of incorporating it. It sort of seemed like a realistic way of trying to get past the whole idea, I think.
But if that's the case and it is his body, then wouldn't you have a Terminator situation where he'd be showing up naked all the time?
That's an excellent point. That's an excellent point. Absolutely. Because he gets stuff injected into his body, right? Which obviously allows him to time travel. But what about his clothes and stuff? Yeah.
Or he is wearing a machine that can take his clothes with, and the injection is something to help him survive.
That's probably what it has to be, right? Yeah. Yeah. It's sort of like a jump generator or whatever, and then he gets injected with the antidote for what it is. That's got to be what it is, actually. Must be.
Because I love that Terminator setup. It's like because you have to surround the Terminator with flesh so that it can go through.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Because the first question you would ask is like, well, why did they make a machine that looks like a human? Well, this is why, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I mean, worst science moment. One thing I didn't like was the kid just randomly typing on the keyboard. I mean, that's not quite science. That's engineering, I suppose. But I mean, like, what the hell was that? He wasn't looking at any real code. He was just typing random stuff.
There's a long-standing joke, I think, of like coding in movies. It's like, the keyboard is rattling away. And
exactly.
Then coding in reality is like you got a book next to you, like, what? Okay, but why doesn't it work? It'll flicking through the book and
or going through online forums from 2004 and stuff like that, and this guy's done something similar.
Yeah. I did think of that when he was typing away, but I guess it's very Matrixy,
Exactly. And I mean, it's not that big of a deal. Only other thing that's sort of and I'm definitely, this is not my field, right? This is not the science that I do. But when Ingrid went into the AI world and he was trying to convince her and make a deal and whatever, he was like, no, I've been there since the collapse of the nebula and the formation of organic life and everything. And then he said, and when Homo erectus discovered fire. Now, I'm not 100% sure of my facts here. I know that Homo erectus is the first hominid to wield fire and to control fire, but I do not think that it is the first hominid to use fire. I think there is evidence of Homo habilis, which is before erectus, using fire, just not necessarily in a controlled way and also not making it itself. Right? So firstly, I take issue with the word discover fire, because control fire is the important thing. And secondly, I don't think it was erectus that was the first to do that. It was just a little, I mean, it's got nothing to do with the film at all, but I tried to do a little bit of research, but sort of like conflicting stuff out there. But that just sort of, I was like, I don't think that's right. As an AI, you should know better. But
the discover is a very misused word in history and science. How can you discover a place where people live? Like, I don't understand that.
Yeah. I mean, my worst is always when people say Isaac Newton discovered gravity. No, firstly, he explained gravity, and he didn't explain gravity. He explained that the gravity we experience on the Earth is the same force that makes the moon stay in its orbit. That's what he discovered. He discovered that they were one and the same thing.
I didn't know that distinction.
Right. Yeah, no, it's a very, very important distinction, is that people think the apple hit him on the head and he was like, gravity. But what happened, I mean, it's probably all a myth, but the apple hit him on the head and he looked up at the moon and said, why doesn't the moon also hit me on the head?
Right.
If there's a force causing an apple to fall, why is the moon not falling? And then he worked out the whole thing and said, it is the same force, but because of the tangential speed, it's orbiting. That was his big break. Anyway, we're not even talking about the movie anymore, are we? Had to
Yeah.
find some science moments somewhere. But,
Exactly,
'cause
just make it
there
yourself.
weren't. Yeah, there weren't too many in the movie itself. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess we can move now into our final thoughts.
Yeah.
And I was kind of hoping that I would have more final thoughts ready after a discussion. That was my kind of shower thought of the day. It's like, I don't know what I can say. I'm kind of confused on some things still, but I'm not. I'm
Yeah.
kind of no more clear on anything than I was before.
No, exactly. I think we both sort of feel the same. We sort of not left with too much, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was, yeah, I like the setup. I like the structure with the flashbacks. There are ideas here that I'm really enjoying, and engaging with. They're not all coming together very well, though. That's kind of the problem. The cast is underused. I feel like you have some really strong performers
Yeah.
here who, after their flashbacks, are just kind of left by the wayside.
Yeah.
It's all just kind of vague and underbaked. It's well shot, well directed. I quite enjoy the music,
Yes.
actually. I'll say that. I haven't mentioned that yet.
Yes.
It was
No, the
fun.
music was. Yeah.
But my big frustration is just you had this open goal of your setup of like, we have to have this special group, but they have no interesting skills and traits that
Yeah.
let them be special, and there is no specific alchemy of these people being together that makes them save the day. Well, they don't, so maybe maybe the film was right, actually.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah, he hasn't found the correct combination yet. So.
Yeah. Just a lot of questions, but
Yeah.
Like I said, I would rather they try stuff like this than be safe.
Yes, I do absolutely agree with that as well. I mean, that's what's going to happen, right? Sometimes it's going to be a hit, sometimes it's going to be a miss.
Exactly.
I would rather have you making new ideas than remaking some of my favorite films from the 80s, right?
Yeah,
I mean, leave them alone. They were great. Come up with new stuff. I think in general, I loved the feeling that I had watching this film. Is that a lot of times, I've mentioned it already, it did make me really uncomfortable, really uneasy. It gave me this strange sense. That's why I called it, it's almost more of a horror movie than it is a sci-fi. Because it gave me this weird sense that like things are not as they seem, and we don't actually know what this movie's about, and things are going to go strangely. So I did love the feeling that it gave me, but then it would have, I was expecting it to all be wrapped up in the end and make sense as to why I had been feeling that way. But maybe I was actually just uneasy about the direction of the movie, right? But yeah,
I'm kind of thinking now that there is a way that you can make this like an 8-part Amazon Prime series or something like that, and it works better, and you can have your character-centric episodes. So, okay, this is the Susan episode. We find out about her. And maybe, in fact, that's actually the idea that they had and tried to squash it down into this.
Might be.
I don't know.
You're right. Because then it would make sense as well to focus on one character for a certain period of time and then move on and not mention them again for a while. You're right. Because if it's each episode has got a focus, then it makes sense.
And it's simply too long as well. That's just the other,
absolutely,
other thing.
Absolutely. And I mean, I'm a massive Lord of the Rings fan. I watch The Hobbit followed by The Lord of the Rings in one sitting. I mean, I have no problem with long movies, but they have to be entertaining, right? They have to be well made and well structured in order to maintain my attention for that long. So
every movie should be as long as it should be.
Exactly.
If that makes sense. And this should not be this long.
No, you're right.
The best way to watch the Middle-earth saga is, I've discovered.
What, leave out The Hobbit completely?
You do not watch any Hobbits junk whatsoever. God. This is a sci-fi podcast. Sorry, it's not a
Yeah, no,
fantasy.
indeed. We won't go too much into that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess that's it. I'm glad I watched this. This might have been
I am
something
as
that
well. Yeah.
I would have been circling for years and just kind of never gotten around to. And I'm glad I kind of forced myself to, force us both to check it
Yes.
out.
No, I'm glad I watched it as well. I mean, it was an interesting movie. I might watch it again as well, just for all the Cape Town stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, as for the pod, next week we are going to be back, catching up with our friends on Mars, with For All Mankind season 5, episodes 3, 4, and 5. Um, that should be a good stretch. I don't
I think
know.
so.
I
I
don't
think
know
we'll
if
have a
you're up.
lot to talk about.
I
Yeah.
don't know if you're up to date, but
I'm not up to date. I'm not up to
okay,
date. No.
okay. Well, yeah, there's a lot to unpack, I think.
Okay. Right.
Um, yeah, and as always, if you enjoy, do like, subscribe, comment. It helps us grow. If you didn't enjoy, please let us know.
Yeah. Even better. Yeah.
um, yeah, and we'll see you next time. As always, live long and prosper.